Hello everybody, video here for you today. They did not do this in the season 6 premiere of the Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, but I'm going to do it for old time's sake. There is a ranch in northern Utah that's considered to be the epicenter of the strangest and most disturbing phenomena on Earth. Bizarre UFO sightings, animal mutilations, and unusual energies that are proven harmful to humans. The federal government tried and failed for 20 years to find answers, but now a new team of experts has taken over, determined to reveal the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. This is the no-cap recap of the Secret of Skinwalker Ranch Season 6 premiere episode 1 called Bubble Trouble, originally aired June 3rd, 2025. For more Skinwalker Ranch recaps, there's a playlist link in the upper right. On September 24th, 2024, 10:11 p.m. at the Mesa drill site, the guys are putting a little overtime in on this one. On September 24th, 2024, 10:11 p.m. at the Mesa drill site, the guys are putting a little overtime in on this one. The drill is yet again unable to penetrate whatever is inside the Mesa, described as being harder than granite. Archaeologist Chris Roberts has been going through the spoils and says he found these ceramics from 470 feet into the mesa and 100 feet deep. Dr. Aaron Taylor says they have a crosshatch pattern. Dr. Taylor later summarizes that they have been working for 5 years to confirm stories of a military base and/or spacecraft in the mesa. Ground-penetrating radar detected this 400-foot-long object as well as smaller anomalies around it. Previous spoils have contained metal fragments that are similar to what NASA and SpaceX used to protect their spacecraft. Eric Bard tests the area for radiation by holding the meter away from the ceramics, getting a reading of 37 to 68. When he puts it next to one of the ceramic pieces, the meter jumped to 105 instantly. 2 days later, ranch owner Brandon Fugel has arranged for a physicist at Utah Valley University to examine them with a scanning electron microscope. You can immediately see the crosshatch pattern. Further examination reveals these holes that are getting bigger as they watch. Dr. Taylor wonders if it's the electron beam that has caused that reaction. He asks the physicist to turn off the beam, and they see that the holes appear to be smaller and confirm with the screen grab from earlier on the right. The physicist says he doesn't know of any material that can do this and says it's fixing itself. Dr. Taylor says yes, it's healing. Then we get a The Last of Us Part 2 style flashback to 3 months earlier, presumably the start of the Season 6 filming. Brandon is on the ranch for an opening meeting of sorts and says he's very excited and confident due to all of the data and discoveries in Season 5. New this year, to capture, compile, and store the data from sensors placed across the ranch to detect signals, energy spikes, and radiation increases that commonly accompany UAP sightings. There's a new facility built by Omnitech near Homestead 1. Almost in the center there, the red dot. And the named places are where they have the new sensors. After various issues in Season 5 trying to get 2 holes drilled on either side of the object in the mesa, they were finally successful with the first one. The idea is to do the second one and then put scanning devices into the holes that can hopefully provide more information on what the object is. They will also continue investigating the triangle. It is the site of strange radio signals, the most UAP sightings, as well as the LiDAR data that Dr. Taylor says is similar to a theorist's description of wormholes or interdimensional portals. A powerful laser beam that should have continued was cut off by something at 2,000 feet altitude. More LiDAR scanning revealed this, creating what at the time they thought was a cone that had a 600-meter radius. This graphic showed that it went from the Eastfield Canyon to Homestead 2. In the off-season, Eric built this model from the LiDAR data that reveals that it's not a cone, it's more like a dome. The first experiment is a helicopter trip around and in the dome with several scientific instruments aboard and on the ground. Presumably, this is the first experiment monitored from inside the Ark. The first bit of strangeness is missing and erroneous data points from the GPS on the helicopter, which has happened before, even on drones. It is fine until it reaches the triangle. Omnitech's drone is still on the ground, having a GPS failure, unable to fly. On the return trip the other way through the triangle, the GPS jumps and then corrects. The anomalies continue until the chopper is beyond the triangle. Later, Dr. Tyler asked theoretically if the dome is causing the issue. As a baseline, the helicopter is transmitting a 1.2 gigahertz signal. None of the other equipment on the ranch operates at that frequency. At this point, Dr. Taylor picks up a second 1.2 gigahertz signal. Later, he wonders if the dome or something inside it was mimicking their signal and sending it back to them. Then something blocks the radio signal from the chopper. Cameron Fugel's voice could be heard clearly up until this point, but now they're static every few seconds. This too happens only over the triangle. Cameron goes up to 400 feet and the same GPS issue happens. Eric describes it as being almost like the data is being lost in a void. Dr. Taylor turns up the volume on the unknown second 1.2 gigahertz signal and finds that it sounds just like one in Season 5, rapid clicking. Pete Kelsey, LiDAR scanning in the copter, suddenly turns to Cameron and says that something zipped right by him that was small, white, and fast. High-speed camera footage coming up. They have had white orbs appear before during such experiments, usually right after something strange happens. Cameron goes to 1,000 feet to repeat the flight pattern. The GPS errors continue. They almost form a column in the center of the dome, right above the triangle. Jim from Omnitech has figured out that the chopper-mounted LiDAR scanner monitor has constant errors while the chopper is inside the dome, and there are none after it leaves the dome. The last part of the experiment is to repeat the flight path at 3,000 feet, 1,000 feet higher than the top of the dome. Jim reports the LiDAR errors have gone away once Cameron went higher than the dome. At the same time, Dr. Taylor notices that the second 1.2 gigahertz signal is gone. 2 days later, all of the data has been compiled, so there is a debrief. The Fugels attend via video conferencing. The high-speed camera captured video of the UAP traveling from the upper right to the lower left corner. They rule out it being a bird. It looks just like the others they have all seen before. In Season 5, Pete Kelsey's LiDAR data shows things underground. The problem with that is that LiDAR does not penetrate the ground. He shows the LiDAR image of the dome, 300 meters or almost 1,000 feet underground. The other instrument showed the dome above ground, but the LiDAR just showed the underground version, this time after previously showing both. Eric shows Pete's data from last year with a black line showing ground level. Explaining the title, Thomas says it's like a bubble. Pete further says that the additional scanners on the ground used in the experiment show up literally in the LiDAR data at 30 feet in the air. 30 feet is also the level that the team previously saw a cloudy blob in which a test rocket exploded when launched into it. Personally, my thought while watching this season 6 premiere episode is that something is causing a skewed reversal or mirror image of reality. I do not have a PhD though, like Dr. Tyler. I'll continue recapping season 6 this summer and possibly early fall, depending on how many episodes there are, as well as retro no cap recaps of seasons 2 through 4. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Seasons 1, 5, and the first 5 episodes of Season 2 are already done and are in that Skinwalker Ranch playlist. I'll also be finishing up retro no cap recaps of the Curse of Oak Island second half of Season 8. All of the other seasons and episodes are already done and are in that Oak Island playlist. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.